In today's video, I'm going to talk about how it's easier to do something without thinking about it. I've created this self-improvement YouTube channel for a reason. To help other guys, mainly guys, and to share my experiences throughout my own personal development and how you can implement them in your life and hopefully change yourself for the better. And because of that, I've been planning a lot, and I've realized I've planned a lot in my life, but action is always something I've struggled with. Recently, I haven't been getting up early at all because I don't have a concrete plan to the day. I don't have something that gets me immediately out of bed and into action, but I used to. Only about 8 months ago, I was getting up at 5 a.m. every day. And it was brutally hard, but I did it. And it's what led me to where I am now. Jacked with an amazing girlfriend. And I plan to only get better. I plan to make more money. I plan to be a big leader in the online self-improvement sphere. But I want to tell you a story about how I was able to get up early and what I've learned. So how I was able to get up early, I guess we should start from the very start. In my secondary school experience, I was forced to get up at 6 a.m. every day. And I absolutely despised it. I despised it because I was living in a caravan at the back of my parents' bungalow in the fuck end arse of nowhere in County Clare in Ireland. Right, no opportunities, no nothing. Had to travel 45 minutes by car just to reach my secondary school, which I hated. It was an awful experience. And my mother would force me out of bed at 6 a.m. Either she would knock on the caravan or my alarm would go off and I'd either hit snooze for about 10 minutes until she banged on the caravan, or I'd force myself to get up immediately, and I hated it. And when I think back along my self-improvement journey, I realize it all started with cold showers. It started with cold showers, and it started with quitting pornography. Now, thinking back every day on my secondary school experience, I would have, I would double scoop instant coffee. I'd have two scoops, big scoops of instant coffee, and that would get me buzzed and ready for school, which was ironic because I didn't use that energy at all, except for to take a massive shit, because I would do fuck all in school. I wouldn't be interested in the lectures, but that's regardless beside the point. I still wanted to improve my life. So I started researching cold showers. I started forcing myself to take a cold shower every day in the morning, and it was brutal. I mean, I had to get up at 6 a.m. in this cold ass caravan, and I had to literally walk outside because it wasn't connected to the bungalow. I had to walk outside into the house and then take a cold shower, and it sucked. But I did that, and that's what the baseline of my discipline was created on. So how did I go from hating waking up at 6 a.m. every day to waking up at 5 a.m. willingly for university, or should I say during my university education, which I'm still in? And it all ties back to purpose. You see, when I was in secondary school, I didn't see any way out. I didn't see any way how getting a good job would support me, or I didn't even know what a good job was, or why it was important, or why I had to go down this path. None of it made any sense to me, which no one actually explained to me. No one took the time to at least even try to form some ideology in my mind about why getting a 9 to 5 was a good thing, which it is in some cases, but for the price of living right now, no 40 to 60k job is good for you. It's ridiculous. And you should aspire to do more. But regardless, no one held my hand and talked to me about that. So I didn't see any purpose for me to get up at 6 a.m. So I started reading a book in my first year of university. It's behind me there. You can see it. Just, where's my finger? Just along here. Atomic Habits. And I'll make a separate video on this, but Atomic Habits basically states, about halfway through the book, it states that if you want to do something, you should make it easy. You should reduce the resistance between you and the task, because the task is going to be hard, right? I still have to put cardio in today. I've left it because I'm stupid sometimes. I've left it until it's late. You can see outside how late it is. And I need to go outside and do something. I'm probably going to run my normal route. But regardless, I've left it till it's dark and a little bit dangerous because I have to run on the road. But alas, that's life. So in secondary school, I didn't have any purpose for working up at 6 a.m. So of course I didn't do it. But when I read this book in university, I started to realize I could get so much more done if I just woke up earlier. And my motivation for that was running. I started running. And I started leaving my clothes every single night without fail. Every single night. I would leave my clothes, my running clothes for the next morning on the chair that I'm currently sitting on. I'd leave them folded, my shoes, my underpants, my shirt, my trousers, my socks. I would leave it all neatly folded here. So when that alarm went up at 5 a.m., the first thing I did was I snatched the bed sheets off me. I got down on the floor. I did a set of push-ups. And you have to make a promise to yourself. You have to say, I'm going to do this no matter what. So I knew that I would regret not running in the morning if I didn't immediately start doing it. If I didn't immediately start off my day by running. Because then it would be in my head. Because like, oh God, I haven't run. And you can see I've fallen off schedule a little bit. But that's because my situations have changed. And I have different opinions now. But still, this is a baseline to anyone who wants to increase their discipline, doesn't know where to start. So the push-ups helped me because it helped get my body warm, helped get my body moving immediately. Just drop down to the floor, do push-ups. And I would set myself the task of doing over 250 push-ups every day. And that was my task, alongside spending an hour at the gym, alongside cycling there, cycling back, alongside running in the morning, and alongside running later in the afternoon club that I was a part of for a year. Which meant I also needed to cycle there and cycle back again. So I was spending a lot of my time exercising. And it was a fantastic, fantastic way to increase discipline. And that's how I started waking up at 5 a.m. It's scientifically proven that you need 90 days to form a habit. When you reach the halfway mark, 45 days, you've mostly disciplined your mind to complete that task. But when you hit 90 days, you've solidified it. And that really helped me achieve my goals. I started running more, running farther, getting better. And my legs are fantastic because of that. They're extremely strong. And before, when I was living in Fanor, in the caravan, I ran I think I tried 2 or 3 times in the entirety of the 10 years that I was there. Obviously, I ran for primary school, right? But I mean, as I got older, during my secondary school experience, I tried going outside and running, and I couldn't force myself to do it. But I realized, thinking back on it, if I wrote goals, and this is very important, when I started running, the first time I started running, I had the goal of doing a 10K. And that's very important. Because if you don't have a big, ambitious goal, you're not going to be focused. You're not going to want to do it. It's the reason why I'm recording this video. I didn't write a script for the video. All my other videos I wrote a script for. But unless I really need to, I'm not going to write a script anymore. I'm just going to talk to the camera. Because I want to increase as little resistance as possible. I don't feel fully comfortable talking to a camera, which is why I need to do it more. Because I want you to know my name. I want you to know James O'Driscoll. I want you to feel my energy and learn from my words. And the only way I get to do that is by talking to the camera for hours and hours and hours, even if I don't want to. Even if it makes me feel uncomfortable. That's something I have to overcome. And there is no way around that. So that's how I woke up at 5 a.m. every day. Now, as I said, I'm a bit off schedule. I don't wake up that early anymore. I have to work a part-time job, which means I start around 6 or 7, and I finish at 3 a.m. So obviously I can't wake up at 5 a.m. anymore. I wouldn't function on 2 hours sleep. I'm not one of these sleepless elites. That's 1% of the population. I can just sleep less than 6 hours and be completely fine. That's not me. I take care of my body, and I make sure that I get a full at least 8 hours, no matter what. So that was my video to you. I hope it helped. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on discipline, how to wake up earlier, the lessons I've learned. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to support me any way you can. Just leave a comment or a like if you want. And I'll see you in the next one.